From Mortal to Divine, a Cultivation Epic, Episode 11. Oh, how pitiful. Only we would wander up the mountain in the middle of the night. Right. Speaking of which, after Chen Lagu and his son Chen Xiaobian came down from the blood corpse tomb, they strolled down from the northern mountain. By my calculations, I haven't slept for a whole 2 days. Sleeping too much, your mind will go to sleep too. At this point, after the excitement of leaving the tomb, Chen Xiaobian started complaining again. Indeed, ever since they started working on the corpse-raising ground for the Jia family, both of them hadn't had a good night's sleep for 2 whole days. Are you saying that's the way to go without sleeping for a few days? Earning money is not that easy. When I was young, there was a time I hadn't closed my eyes for a whole 10 days. Chen Lagu had no way to deal with his son's complaints. He could only console him continuously. No, can't be. Something's happening again. As the two were talking, suddenly, they heard a night owl's eerie cry from the woods behind them. When the two turned around, the familiar soul hook bird that knew Chen Lagu was screeching on a tree branch, as if it had discovered something. Sure enough, both of them noticed a figure moving in the woods at the same time. With a sharp cry from the night owl, it also alerted the person. He turned around fearfully and looked outside the woods. "Dad, there's someone near a new grave. Let's go. Let's see what he's up to." At this moment, Chen father and son also saw that the person was messing around at the side of a new grave. As soon as the person saw someone outside the woods, he seemed very scared and turned to run in another direction into the forest. "That guy definitely has a problem. Dad, should I go after him?" Seeing the person's appearance, the father and son knew he must have done something wrong. Xiaobian wanted to catch up. In this pitch-dark place, where do you go chasing with no light? He can't run away, can't run away. But Chen Lagu stopped his son, seemingly not in a hurry at all. "Soul hook bird, go, keep an eye on him." He looked up and shouted loudly at the night owl on the tree. The night owl heard Chen Lagu's instructions, flapped its wings, and flew towards the sky. In the pitch-black night sky, the night owl's eyes gleamed, closely following the direction the person was escaping. The father and son watched as the night owl flew after the person, bending down and entering the woods, arriving at the new grave where the person had been active just now. At a glance, the two were quite surprised. The corpse in this new grave had been dug out and placed on the ground. It was unclear what the person's intentions were. Buried in this new grave was a woman from a neighboring village who had died from drinking pesticide. At this point, the body had not yet decomposed. The head of the corpse tilted to one side, and next to the head on the ground was a white candle. There were obvious burn marks on the chin of the corpse. Someone is collecting corpse oil from this body. Chen Xiaobian didn't understand. But Chen Lagu, with one look, figured out that someone wanted to collect corpse oil from the freshly dead body. This is made from mole oil and yin valley grass, a candle specifically used for smearing corpse oil. It belongs to the witchcraft of the Miao clan. Chen Lagu analyzed that the person must be a wizard from the Miao clan. Using this special candle to collect corpse oil, they must be planning to perform witchcraft. "Dad, what does he want to do with this corpse oil?" "This woman died from drinking pesticide. She's a violent death, and her body has a heavy grudge. The corpse oil will be even more malevolent. It seems that this person knows a lot about this newly deceased person, knowing that she is a violently dead person with a deep grudge, making the corpse oil even more effective. Using this malevolent thing, he must be here to harm people." Miao clan witchcraft is divided into 2 factions. One is the Miao doctors who heal and save lives, mostly using herbs. The other, using corpse oil and blood, must be black witchcraft specifically for harming people. Rest assured, since he wants to harm people, he will definitely cross paths with us. This guy really doesn't take us seriously. Upon hearing that a Miao clan wizard is planning to harm people on their territory, Chen Qiubian got angry, but Chen Lagu told him not to be hasty. It seems that tonight's sleep is ruined. Stop chattering. Get to work. Chen Lagu knew that unless this person cast spells away from this area, once he did something wrong, he would be found sooner or later. Eventually, he would have to confront that black wizard. After the two buried the deceased again, the sun had already risen in the east. This is indeed a bit strange. Didn't you say that those Miao clan wizards only stay in the south? Why would they come here? When the two returned to the village, it was already bright. They're back. When they walked to the entrance of their alley, they saw two people standing at their doorstep from a distance, as if waiting for them. Dagging, why are you at our doorstep? We're not looking for you. Uncle Chen, this person was wandering around the village asking about you, so I brought him here. As they approached, it turned out to be Lu Degang and a stranger, apparently looking for Chen Lagu. He says he urgently needs to see you. After Lu Degang explained the situation, the person standing beside him kept staring at Chen Lagu. After a while, it seemed he suddenly realized something. Sure enough, it's you, old man. Do you still remember me? I, the black gold ancient knife, the evil knife. The person suddenly rushed from Lu Degang's side to Chen Lagu's front, shouting black gold ancient knife, as if reminding Chen Lagu of something. I was introduced to come find the master. I didn't expect it to be you. Didn't I say? If you have something, come find me. At this point, Chen Lagu recognized that the man in front of him was the one he had saved from almost being killed by the black gold ancient knife over a decade ago. Old man, I won't be polite with you. Please save my son. No problem. Come, let's talk while we walk. Seeing the man's anxious expression, Chen Lagu guessed that he must have encountered something evil. Without hesitation, he followed the man to his house. Dagging, why are you following us? I'm fine, just following to see what's going on. Old man, my son is in critical condition. Now, Chen Qiubian's hope for a good nap was gone. Old man, take a look. Wang Jun's home was nearly 20 miles from Coffin Village. By the time they arrived, it was almost noon. Chen Lagu, led by Wang Jun, first examined the child's condition. Upon closer inspection, Chen Lagu's brows immediately furrowed. The child was extremely weak at this point, and a hint of lifelessness had appeared on his face. How long has the child been like this? 3 or 4 days, and he turned into this. We couldn't find any reasons even after going to the hospital. This situation surprised Chen Lagu as well. Typically, being cursed or encountering evil wouldn't directly cause such changes in a person's body. However, although the child still had a breath, he gave off a feeling of being dead. Chen Lagu didn't dare to make hasty conclusions. After a thorough examination of the child's body, he finally pried open the child's mouth to inspect the tongue coating. At this sight, he was once again shocked. A dark purple bloodline extended from the inside to the outside of the child's tongue. Extremely eerie. What could it be, that person? The child is poisoned by someone's witchcraft. However, it was precisely this characteristic that made Chen Lagu understand that the child was poisoned by witchcraft. This witchcraft has always been passed down in the Miao region and rarely enters the Central Plains. Witchcraft is actually a general term, divided into witchcraft and gu art. Gu art involves cultivating gu insects and gu mothers to harm people, mostly requiring physical contact to implement. Chen Lagu knew that people in the Central Plains were not familiar with this witchcraft. He gave everyone a brief explanation. However, this witchcraft doesn't need to approach the victim. It only requires a medium to establish a connection and can be performed by black wizards. He analyzed that the child was now under the curse of a black wizard. If the person who cast the spell couldn't be found, it would indeed be troublesome. Wang Jun, think about whether you offended anyone recently. offended someone. When Chen Lagu got to this point, he turned back to ask Wang Jun and his wife if they had offended anyone recently, causing someone to frame them. No, we've been working in the fields every day. Yeah, everyone around here knows me. However, Wang Jun and his wife were ordinary farmers. After thinking for a while, they couldn't recall any disagreement with anyone. It's okay. There are very few people in the Central Plains who practice this kind of witchcraft. 80%, it's related to the person we encountered last night. Hearing that there were no clues from Wang Jun and his wife, Chen Lagu didn't worry. He recalled the person he encountered last night and estimated that he was the most likely suspect. Xiaobian, Dagang, the soul hunting bird, followed that person to his residence last night. Tonight, you two go and catch him. Turning around, he instructed Lu Dagang and Chen Xiaobian, follow the night owl and raid the old den of that person tonight. Okay, I hate those who harm children the most. I won't beat him to death. Dad, why can't we catch him during the day? As soon as Lu Dagang heard that they were going to catch a bad guy, he immediately got excited. However, Xiaobian was still a bit slow to catch up. Why did they have to wait until night to take action? Are you stupid? Have you ever seen a night owl active in broad daylight? Chen Lagu's words woke up Chen Xiaobian, thinking about it, who had seen a night owl flying around in broad daylight. All right, you all go back and take a rest first. Wang Jun, you and your wife prepare some things. Good. What do you need? I'll go find them. Chen Lagu sent the two young men back to rest first. He and Wang Jun's couple started preparing the things to save the child. Old man, are these the things you need? Yes, that's right. The things Chen Lagu needed were a bit strange, but fortunately, being in the countryside, although it took some effort, they weren't hard to find. An hour later, half a bag of glutinous rice, a bowl of blood from a 3-year-old male chicken, and a whole plant of mugwort with leaves and roots were placed in front of Chen Lagu. Chen Lagu sprinkled the chicken blood on the glutinous rice and buried the child in it. After a while, the color of the glutinous rice turned black and emitted a black corpse aura from time to time. After changing the glutinous rice again, the child's complexion improved significantly, and he gradually woke up. However, Chen Lagu could see that there was still corpse aura inside the child's body that needed to be completely removed. Chen Lagu asked the child's mother to boil the mugwort in 3 bowls of water. Then he drew a talisman and dissolved it in it. He fed it to the child. In less than 10 minutes after the child drank it, he felt a severe pain in his stomach, followed by rumbling sounds. He immediately felt the urge to vomit. The child turned over and vomited a lot of things, all of which were dark, oily substances emitting a disgusting odor. Great, he knows he's hungry. Mom, I'm hungry. After vomiting all those things, the child fully recovered his spirits, looking at his mother and shouting that he was hungry. Old man, you take this money. It's really thanks to you this time. Seeing the child recovering, Wang Jun was overjoyed, busy pulling out 10,000 yuan from the cabinet, intending to give it to Chen Lagu as a thank you gift. I already accepted the money before, and didn't you give me that ancient knife? But that's because you saved my life. However, Chen Lagu pushed it back again, claiming that the ancient knife he tamed more than 10 years ago was his reward. Old man, you must take this money. Otherwise, our hearts won't be at ease. Don't be polite with me. Keep this money to buy some supplements for the child. If Chen Xiaobian knew about this, his nose would probably be crooked again. However, Chen Xiaobian and Lu Dangang are currently busy. They have been following the soul hook bird for more than half an hour. Where does that old guy live? We've passed through 2 villages. Who knows? I'm exhausted. The night owl is flying in the sky. Although it has deliberately slowed down, the two are still quite tired. Fortunately, after entering this village, the night owl hovered over a house and soon landed on the roof. From the sharp eyes of the night owl, it can be seen that this is probably the house of the black wizard who secretly stole the corpse oil last night. It looks like this is the place. Come on, let's get in and beat him up. Seeing the situation, the two knew that they had finally found the culprit. Lu Danging rolled up his sleeves and was about to rush in. Don't be hasty. My dad said that the Manhwa region's witchcraft is hard to defend against. Let's observe first. Don't act recklessly again. But cautious Chen Xiaobian stopped them. Dealing with the black wizard in the Manhwa region is not easy. It's better to observe first. The two carefully looked inside from the window, and indeed saw a middle-aged man sitting on a mat in the room, constantly fiddling with something in his hands. The middle-aged man, who seemed to be a local, was holding a small straw man in his hand. He was chanting something, probably casting a curse to harm others. However, at this moment, the man, who was originally complacent, suddenly felt a sharp pain all over his body, as if he had fallen under a curse himself. Following that chilling and piercing pain spreading throughout his body, almost all the strength in his body was suddenly drained, and he couldn't stop trembling all over. The man's body instantly collapsed, and he felt cold and painful all over. He could hardly stand up. How does it feel? Don't you know that this kind of witchcraft, once broken, will backfire on the caster? Just then, the door was suddenly kicked open, and it turned out to be Chen Xiaobian and Lu Danging, who, seeing that there was no danger, rushed in through the door. Who are you people? Do you believe I'll disable you? Oh, you're pretending quite well. If you have the ability, try disabling one of us. Upon seeing the two aggressive individuals, the wizard struggled to stand up, assuming a stance ready for a fight. Let me tell you, your witchcraft was broken by my grandpa. You're finished the same way, Danging. Let him experience it. What, do I have to go first? After boasting for a while, Chen Xiaobian, thinking about what his dad said about Manhwa wizards often carrying many poisonous insects and substances, waved his hand and pushed Lu Danging out. Danging, go for it, go for it. Must win, must win. Look at you being so timid. Watch me. Lu Danging, who had a fiery temper to begin with, got even more annoyed seeing Chen Xiaobian like that. He immediately charged towards the black wizard. What do you want? I'm quite formidable. Don't just have the ability to harm children. If you're capable, come at me. Seeing that things were about to start, Chen Xiaobian hurriedly retreated to the doorway. However, the wizard, who acted quite convincingly, encountered a problem when he saw the burly Lu Danging rushing over. His body suddenly had issues, and he broke out in a cold sweat. Don't use force. What kind of gentleman are you to take advantage of others in distress? You call yourself a gentleman and still harm children. Danging, I'll help you. Who this wizard really is, and what hidden stories lie in the middle of all this, will continue in the next episode.